The British Prime Minister Theresa May is attending her first EU summit in Brussels. And while Brexit isn't officially on the agenda, it's sure to come up. Well, TRT World's Simon McGregor-Wood joins us live in Brussels with more on this. Simon, Theresa May is going to feel... I'm afraid we can't bring you Simon McGregor-Wood at the moment. No, I believe we can. Simon, Theresa May is going to feel fairly isolated, isn't she? Bearing in mind what's happened with Brexit, what's she expected to say to her fellow leaders?
Well, that's the $64,000 question, John. People here are concerned with her tone. This is her first visit here as the British Prime Minister, first visit following the referendum and the decision to leave, and people want to hear how she wants to pursue the negotiations. Now, those negotiations won't, of course, start until March next year, according to her timetable. That's when she triggers Article 50. But she did give a speech to her own Conservative Party conference back in the UK a few weeks ago, in which she seemed to imply that her priority in these negotiations would be to reassert national sovereignty over all sorts of issues, including the free movement of people, to therefore control immigration. Now, people here in Europe and other capitals around Europe, including sympathetic ones like Berlin, have been quick to condemn that rhetoric and express real concern about the tone that she has taken up so far. They don't want the UK to conduct a hard Brexit. They're saying you can't have access to the good things without taking on the responsibilities as well. So they will be very, very keen to hear what she has to say and the tone of what she says when she gets the opportunity this evening to speak to all 27 leaders around the dinner table.
Well, as we say, Brexit not even actually on the agenda as such. What is on the agenda? Can we expect anything on Syria in particular?
Well, yes, we can. A bit later, this first session, leaders are now entering the building, will be dominated by discussions on migration, the continuing deal with Turkey to try and stem the flow of refugees coming through the eastern Mediterranean. There's a lot more to be done, of course, on the whole issue of migration. Thousands of people are still trying to get to Europe from Libya. Thousands are still dying in the attempt to do so. Russia will come up for general discussion. That's the other significant agenda item, again, over dinner. And we understand that a pretty strongly worded statement is being drafted to condemn Russia's actions in Syria. We saw, didn't we, yesterday in Berlin, President Putin breaking cover, going for a conversation with François Hollande and Angela Merkel. Tough talking there, we understand, about Russia's actions in Syria. Some in the European Union, John, want more sanctions on Russia. We understand from an early draft of this evening's statement, sanctions won't be mentioned, but the tone, the rhetoric used in the statement condemning Russia will be significantly ramped up.
Simon McGregor-Wood in Brussels, thank you very much indeed.